gotta get to a little bit of the controversy, you know what I'm saying? I can't just give you a cookie cutter mukbang. We gotta get to the dirt a little bit.
Is it dirt?
I don't know if it's dirt. That's what you're here to let us know. Is it true that LeBron fired you from the Space Jam set?
This is the first time I ever talked about
Man,
this.
Airdeezy exclusive.
I was apprehensive to talk about it with you.
Solo Bailey. I saw he played against Bronny James. Solo gonna have to take care of that for you. You're like, oh, Bronny, you gonna have to get that work from your pops.
I would love a little 2v2. Sheldon Bailey, Solo Bailey versus Bronny
and LeBron.
Hey, that 2v2 would be lit.
That might be the most epic 2v2.
I got some more smoke than you think.
What's good, y'all? We back with another video, and I got my man Sheldon Bailey, aka the Juggernaut.
Hey, well, I got some other AKAs.
You got a few Sham Wild, you know what I'm saying, the Emperor. Man, this dude got nicknames for days.
Talk to him, son.
You know, I got the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Roscoe.
It's a little pricey too, man. So, usually I like to get my mukbang go crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Inflation got these prices.
Well, I see you got the double waffle.
Yeah, so we got a little something, but it's $7 for a leg, so we had to cut back. You know what I'm saying? Cut back on the production a little bit. But it's gonna be lit. Want to get to it?
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's dig in, and you can ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
All right. Hey, y'all heard it first. He said it. We good for anything. Full clearance. We're gonna start out light. We're not gonna go too crazy. I want you to tell the world how you got started in the basketball acting world.
I was playing college basketball in Miami at Florida International University. I had another year eligibility, but I was on track to graduate, and my situation with that coaching staff and everything wasn't proper. So I decided to turn pro in basketball and in acting. I literally got an agent down there in Miami. I started doing basketball commercials in Miami. My first one was with Dwayne Wade. He did the Converse commercial, Fall 7, Get Up.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And on that set, it was crazy. Dr. J was there. And then the next commercial was the Shaquille O'Neal Icy Hot stuff. And so my first thing, getting into like body doubling or whatever, I was Shaq's Icy Hot back model.
Oh, so you didn't actually start with LeBron. You started with Shaq.
I started with Shaq, and I was the one rubbing the pad on the Icy Hot pad on my back and my shoulder. And for like a little while, that was like my family's, that was like my claim to fame in my family or whatever. Okay. Because the Icy Hot joints be spinning.
They was popular back then.
Yeah. So they like, oh, Shell back. Back. I went and took my first international basketball job in Ecuador. So then that started like this path, this trail of like me playing basketball internationally when I was home shooting commercials and doing TV back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah, then eventually I settled, as, actor.
Straight to the acting.
Yeah. But I still hoop. I will give you buckets.
Still get a couple buckets. You went from the basketball. I seen you on Shameless. You did some stuff on Nickelodeon. Talk about current day. I see you doing a little something with the Fresh Prince. What's that about?
Oh, yeah. Season 2 premiere of Bel Air.
Okay.
You will see me. The irony and one of the craziest and best things about this is I'm playing the one-on-one street ball champion of Venice Beach.
Which is
crazy because that's been me.
That's actually
real life. Like I've won money on Venice Beach, Red Bull 3 times.
You went to Alcatraz with the Red Bull, right?
I did.
I went to the prison joint.
I went 4 times to the World Championships, all the way to Taiwan, and competed in World Championship basketball one-on-one.
That's crazy.
So to be on Bel Air, basically like being myself, like art imitating life is crazy. But then like Will Smith dropped a trailer yesterday.
I seen that.
He dropped the trailer yesterday and the homies was hitting me. I hadn't seen the trailer yet.
That's crazy.
When I first saw it, I seen like the first little clip and I seen like my body on the court. I was like, whatever. But then somebody sent me a message later and I was like, hold on, that's my face.
Got the FaceTime. Hey, as an actor, you get that FaceTime, that's a different level right there.
So I went back and watched and I was like, oh.
We in there.
They put your boy on.
Oh, we in there now.
I look like the big boss. You gotta come see.
You gotta come talk to him now, Big Beach style. You feel me? I like that.
So I was excited about that. The season 2 premiere is coming up next month, and I'm just really excited for y'all to see my work, to be able to play basketball. You know what I mean? I've been in this game for a minute, bro. That first commercial I did with Dwayne Wade was 2005.
That's crazy, y'all. That tell you about longevity.
For
and this
real.
dude right here, he's probably the biggest hustler I know, man. He always gonna figure out a way to get it done. So
I'm good to the bag.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
We're just getting to bigger bags now. Right. Yeah, it's coming out on Peacock. Bel Air on Peacock. It's gonna be awesome. I'm out there banging out. And guess who was the basketball coordinator on there?
Let's talk about it.
Nah, somebody that we like.
Oh, okay. Mel Braxton?
Lethal Shooter.
Lethal Shooter, okay. All right. Shout out to my man Lethal Shooter, man. He be getting the bag.
Lethal Shooter. You know what? And one thing about Lethal Shooter, out of all these different coordinators we had, he is the most detailed. He is the most detailed when it comes to basketball and how it looks. And I've been in this game for a minute, and he telling me like, no, Sheldon, sit down, get low. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you rising up. Take it back up top.
He taking it serious.
Yeah, nah, he dead serious.
But you need that though, because that's what makes the basketball on camera look real. We always critique, like, if we were ever to do a movie, we would have to get a good coordinator because basketball on TV looks so fake.
Well, I feel like you could be a coordinator yourself. I done hit you about it a couple times, talk to you.
Yeah,
like,
I need to get in that bag.
Because it's you're one of the few people that's been on both sides of the camera, and I really think you know how basketball should look on TV.
For sure, you're right, 100%. How'd you get your first gig to be LeBron James body double?
Mel Braxton.
Mel Braxton. Hey, you know what's crazy? My first commercial I got, Mel Braxton put me on. It's a Jermaine O'Neal commercial. I was auditioning for a Japanese...
When he come out the vending machine.
So I came out the vending machine, but look, this is the crazy part. I was auditioning for something else. And I was walking out of that audition. He said, hey, ain't you that dude that was dunking on that high rim at Poinsettia Park? I was like, yeah. He's like, I need you to come back to this audition later on. So I came back and I windmilled on this dude. And I was going hard. That was still when I was trying to figure. I didn't know what Hollywood acting was. I was just hooping. So dude,
we talking about somebody that could thunderously windmill?
Yeah. So
this guy, that lefty thing was boom.
So I put that boy in there with the shotgun. Wow, that dude Mel said, yo, chill. He said, hey, I'm gonna call you later tonight. And that's how I got my first job, man. But that's crazy. That's crazy.
So, but this is how I think business wise, right? Go to the audition like everybody else did.
Yeah.
People have been telling me that I remind them of LeBron, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I had known that was a type of job. So I asked Mel, I said, is there going to be a body double job for this?
Oh.
And I was like, if so, can you put my name in? So I'm doing the commercial.
Okay.
They hired me to do the Nicole Scherzinger joint. So this the 6th.
Oh, that's the girl from the Pussycat Dolls, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got mad couch time with her. It was love. LeBron was late.
Yeah. Sometimes you snooze, you lose, my brother.
Nicole and I was chopping it up on the couch a little bit, you know. And then what happened was I was doing so much work in that commercial. I went to the Wyatt and Kennedy people and I was like, hey, can I get a bonus or something? Because I'm like doing mad work. And so they gave me a bonus.
Wow.
Yeah,
that double scale was crazy back in the day.
Yeah. It showed love. And then now I was off to the races after that. But it was weird because it went from that to like then State Farm called me. Then people they would start calling me directly. Oh. And so I was like, so they got my name, you know what I'm saying? My name was out there.
Did you meet him
I met him the first time, yeah. We was there. I met Lil Wayne there too.
Wow.
Yeah, Lil Wayne was there. That was super dope because Weezy had to interact with me because LeBron wasn't there.
Oh, so he had to act like he was LeBron.
So it was like, you know, he was, you know, Lil Wayne was like, hey, Sheldon, you know, whatever. So when there was a situation, this is a funny story. We were outside and this is about the chalk throw. And so Lil Wayne had to do the chalk throw. But it's a little art to the chalk throw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Blow it and all that. Pause.
So the director was like, you know, Wayne, go ahead and do it. And then Wayne was like, hey, Sheldon, how I do this? You know what I'm saying? And so I go over there, oh, snap, Weezy, you know my name.
Hey, you know, that's back when Weezy was on fire. Bro, he couldn't drop it.
He came in with the boombox with the iPad. Yeah. But it was still a giant boombox with the iPad in it. He had his theme music with his crew.
That's crazy.
And then so he was like, Sheldon, how I do this? And the director was like, he doesn't need any help. He was like, all right, okay.
Let him know.
So Weezy does this, he has his moment. He dressed in all black, he has his moment. And as soon as he had that moment,
wow.
all the freaking chalk just fell on Wayne's face, dreads, all black.
Young Moolah out of there.
Had to go into the trailer. He had his tour bus. He had to go into a tour bus. Apparently, he had fresh white black tees and some other stuff on deck. And then so whenever we did it again, everybody was kind of looking at the director like,
yeah, I thought you said he was good.
Can Sheldon show him how to do it now?
Yeah, like move out the way, let a professional get it done.
And I was like, Wayne, I got you, baby.
So being the body double, what does that actually entail? Because I'm sure a lot of people don't know actually what that means. They just hear body double. Like, what do you actually do?
Yeah, it's usually kind of confusing to people. And it's always weird for me whenever other people introduce me as a body double in public. Because then people are like,
What does that mean?
It's cool, but like, yeah, what does that mean? Like,
mean?
all right, so whatever. Usually, body double has some stand-in, if not like some stand-in detail. Usually, you're gonna get all the camera angles and lighting in with me, right? But sometimes there actually is a stand-in, and then I'm the body double.
Okay.
And so, in all sense and purposes, an on-camera body double is somebody that looks and can mimic the moves of
the professional.
Of the professionals, usually because of time constraints and just whatever, right?
Yeah. Injury risk, it's a lot of factors for sure.
Yeah, so you need this type of shot for the commercial, but you don't really need LeBron there for it. Like you wanna see LeBron grab the car keys, but you don't really need LeBron for that. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to see like LeBron walk across the camera, but you don't really see his face.
Yeah.
So I do all the wardrobe is fitted to me. Our dimensions are similar too. Mm-hmm. So I would have the same type of wardrobe, and then I would rehearse the whole commercial. So if it's a situation where like it's a bunch of different moves in it, I do all the moves. They video it. LeBron comes in, he watches it, and he does what I just did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he does it his way.
His way, but basically in Europe, you laid the blueprint on like the walkway.
Yeah, so all those commercials, there's probably like a secret Sheldon file somewhere where.
But you know what's funny though?
Commercial.
The secret file, I feel like one time actually got leaked and they used it.
Oh!
Look, I'm at the house, I'm watching the Nike commercial where LeBron is walking through the forest, and I'm like, wait, that's actually Shell. Like they never swapped the scene out. You walked across the whole. I'm not tripping, right?
You was the only one that caught that one, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
But I dead ass walked and looked right into
the camera.
He's
walking with the walking sticky. Boom.
But I think because I had the beard and I had this, because this was like before LeBron had this crazy beard. I was like a Moses, like character, and I had a hood on. I don't think they thought people would
notice that was you, bro.
And a lot of people didn't. But you sent it to me. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
I was like, that's the boldest one I've ever
seen. That extra
seen.
check for sure.
Man, for sure. But usually it might be like an extra move or whatever. Some different things that you need. I've sat in the car, driven, things like that. You do like a lot of the utility work for real. But since it's LeBron, like this is high level utility work because you're working with the best directors, the best wardrobe people.
Best everything.
The best everything. So, being LeBron 2.0 was pretty dope.
It's crazy. I remember even being on set with you. The time it took for you to even turn into LeBron was crazy. So a lot of people don't know. They had to clear his tattoos because he has tattoos. They had to clear him off of his with makeup and then reprint LeBron's tattoos back on him. So that's like a 4-hour process.
Well, we wound up getting it dialed in, but the first couple times it was
crazy.
I got paid a whole day rate. Matter of fact, I got paid overtime. Because it got to the point where they had to actually physically draw. So I was just sitting here for 11 hours.
Yeah, I remember I did the first LeBron joint with you. And I think my call time was like 7:30 or 8. You was already in the chair, like you had been there for a minute.
Are you talking about when we did the Sprite joint?
The Sprite commercial with LeBron in San Francisco.
That was lit.
That was crazy.
That was lit.
And I was like, man, this dude's been in it. He been here 4 hours already. So the first time you met LeBron, what was that moment like? Like you being a professional, like you actually played professional basketball. So it wasn't like a moment like you was a little kid. Look, I mean, maybe it was, but I feel like you was an elite hooper too. So it wasn't like totally that way. But I'm sure it was still LeBron. So what was that feeling like?
Man, to me, I thought it was dope.
Yeah,
I thought it was dope. But we're around the same age, and I think he's like a year and a half younger than me, or something like that.
Yeah,
right. So I mean, I didn't necessarily idolize him, but I appreciate and respect who he is and what he's done for the game. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm in this game too, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of measuring up.
Looking him up down a little quick. Any hooper would, you know what I'm saying?
Like that type of thing. But I have I got respect for like all his basketball accomplishments and all that stuff. But at the time, I wasn't like a super big LeBron fan, but I'm a big basketball fan.
Of course.
And so to have somebody at this type of talent, at this level of the game, in my presence and me now, like emulating or like mimicking or being this person as well, to me it was also, I felt like credited. I felt like for me, like as a basketball player,
that was almost like a stamp of approval, like you made it.
Low key.
Yeah.
To be able to perform as LeBron for 11 years.
And think about that. That means Nike had to trust you enough to be able to fulfill that role.
And the public didn't know the difference.
That's how good you were.
That's what I'm saying.
It was pretty incredible. I ain't gonna lie.
I appreciate it, man.
I shot the Space Jam IRL series with the Professor. Did you see it?
See what?
That YouTube, us dressing up like it's Buzz and Daffy.
Yeah, I did. It was
What'd
dope.
you think about that?
I thought it was tight.
It was pretty lit,
it was pretty cool. I like the stuff that you and Professor have done as far as the characters and the cartoons, Spider-Man and the Venom. He's done really well with that, and I mean, you all have done really well with that. So.
Man, it's been a blessing. He's really helped me out a lot. And speaking of the Space Jam basketball, you know what I'm saying? We got to get to a little bit of the controversy. I can't just give you a cookie cutter, you know what I'm saying, mukbang. We got to get to the dirt a little bit.
Is it dirt?
I don't know if it's dirt. That's what you're here to let us know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a rumor I just wanted to talk about. Was it true that LeBron fired you from the Space Jam set?
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Yeah, because I was not. I seen things transpire.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Some things.
I would say that he was associated and involved in the.
So it's a little more involved
in the final decision of that happened.
Wow. See, I thought it was completely a rumor, so this is actually interesting to me. I'm like, when I first heard it, I'm like, nah, he's been with LeBron for 15 years. I seen him and LeBron and his son, like him and Bronny like little kids.
You would think,
yeah,
right? You would think. But I never had an actual conversation with him
about it
when all of that happened. I mean, at one day, I will get into the details of like.
Well, what was the actual initial issue of what made it like? Or is that just for the book? He got a book coming out, so you know we're gonna save some of the sauce for the book. But
yeah,
a little like
yeah. Well, this is the thing. I had put out press releases before about like being LeBron's double.
Yeah, of course.
So I did this thing, Shameless, right? When I got on Shameless, I put out a press release that I was on Shameless, with the headline was LeBron James double turned Shameless standout. You know what I'm saying?
I actually remember that. Yeah,
that joint was on the cover of Yahoo. We got busy with it, right?
It was dope, yeah.
So we did another one later on, I think, when I did NBA 2K in Miami with them. So for me, I'm thinking I got the green light.
Just use it, whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Press releases. Mm-hmm. So then the press release came out that Sheldon Bailey, actor from, you know, Nickelodeon, etc.,
all the credits,
will be LeBron's body double.
For the Space Jam.
And the joint went viral instantly.
Which was interesting to me because like you said, you've done several of
It's not the first one, but I think just the mention of the name Space Jam 2 just took it to a whole other thing. And next thing you know, people from Australia, from all over the world was chiming in, and it went super, super big. NBC, CNN, ESPN, whoever.
Went crazy.
Yeah, but they didn't like that. They didn't like that.
Did they feel like that was a slight to LeBron, like he had a double? Or
I can't speak for other people, but other than the fact that I know that they didn't like that because it came down to the pipe to where, you know, I no longer worked on that project. But I have been working on that project from day one. Like from day one, from like I was LeBron, and when there was just little Bugs Bunny cutouts, and they didn't know what they just
day one. They figuring out positions, lighting, everything.
Number one. So
wow,
for it to come down to that, you know,
it's kind of whack.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I get it, but then at the same time, I don't necessarily really like approve or whatever, but you know, that's kind of like what went down without getting into like more details.
We're gonna get the more detail in the book, so make sure when the book come out, y'all gotta check it for the full story, because man, this man's whole life is a legacy, so that's just a small piece of it, and y'all get that in the book for sure. I mean, Lynn's out. I felt like, to me, LeBron I think that was around the time he had the groin injury, right?
Maybe we filmed during the summer anyways.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that was the year, like he got the groin injury, the Lakers didn't make it to the playoffs, and then they did the Space Jam.
Well, I also think I know that they have done a really good job of controlling his image, and I think some of that story probably went to a direction that they didn't necessarily approve of, but at the same time, like, we had been working together for 11 years.
Forever.
So
and that's my thing.
I just felt like it was just kind of like a weird ending to a long run.
Relationship.
It was definitely like unceremonious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I kind of get the F you goodbye type vibe.
Yeah, and for me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't in there. Just a fly on the wall in the back. I feel like he had so much going on at that time. Like, he got hurt. The Lakers missed the playoffs. Lynn's back. Everybody was saying, man, this dude, LeBron, getting old. Maybe you don't got it no more. So maybe that was just like the last fuel to the fire. It's like, oh, this dude needs a double now. Like he can't even do his own.
Well, some people were saying, some people took that route,
and that's what
the conversation. I think that it was a writer from Yahoo that did that. And I was just like, come on, bro. He just took it so far. Like, LeBron won't be playing basketball in Space Jam 2. I'm like he nobody said that.
Yeah, but it's like he can't even hoop in the movie.
And so then it comes like, well, nobody would be saying this if you didn't say nothing, Sheldon.
Exactly. So I could see that being something that just spun so far out of control that he just had to be like.
But I kind of feel like after like 11 years we have conversation, and if I get terminated, then I get terminated.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Absolutely.
I just feel like,
but at least you owe you the conversation.
I felt like it was just another level. It was another level of respect that could have been had as far as that. But maybe they feel the same way about me. Hey, well, look, you went and did this without our approval, whatever. So, but I had already done it multiple times. But nobody cared
because he was.
Nobody cared then. They didn't care when it was Shameless. They didn't care when it was NBA 2K.
NBA 2K.
You know what I'm saying? But now, then it's like, it's not the first time.
Yeah, this is a lot.
So I was like, were they not paying attention, or they just didn't care before?
They didn't care. I think they didn't care because it's like he had so much. People already was slighting the movie because like you trying to redo MJ. You really think you the GOAT? So now it's so much. Like MJ did all the scenes. You gotta. I could just see how it just could have spun out of control, and he just was like, you know what?
It took a while for me to absorb that.
Yeah, of course.
I'm talking about, this is the first time I ever talked about
this. Man, Airdeezy exclusive, man. We got the first interview of this.
I never talked to you know what I'm saying? That movie been out a little while now. Yeah. So, I was apprehensive to talk about it with you.
He was. Like,
I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Just a little taste of it. You know what I'm saying? You get the full. When he ready to tell his full story, he gonna tell it the way he wants to.
Yeah, but come on, bro. Like, I'm credited in that movie. I did 30-something commercials with these guys. I made a ton of money doing it. But even then, I could get into like semantics and all that other stuff. So, but I respect Braun for the entity that he is and what he's doing in the game and all of that.
And like I said before, man, you an ultimate hustler. So like, you took taking that. You still have transpired outside of the sports world. You've done so much stuff. That I mean, it might have set you back a little bit, but it didn't stop you. So like, how were you able to transpire your basketball talents into like real acting roles? Because you've done stuff with you did with Zoe.
So check this out. So one thing that was another thing that also kind of was like a certain way for me too. I was like trying to convince that team that I was more than a body double.
Yes.
Get you to understand that, all right, y'all got major TV shows and major film productions. And here I am, I'm like 85 TV shows deep in this business.
Yeah.
And like, why can't I get an audition? Why can't we work out something to, I just had this conversation. So I felt very compartmentalized.
Yeah.
Over this 11 years, like I've grown so much as a person and so much as like an actor.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Can we get this? Can I get a nod? You know what I'm saying? Things like this. But I continue to persevere either way. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't sweat it. Y'all want to rock with me? Cool. Somebody gonna rock with me because I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
So From Scratch is on Netflix now. Bel Air's coming out. I'm at the end of we finished the Sterling Affairs.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did the Sterling Affairs about the Clippers.
Yeah, the Sterling Affairs about the Clippers.
This man's an ultimate hustler, like I said. How do you take your basketball preparation and turn that into like how you go into acting auditions to book a role?
I've always been a advocate of basketball players being good candidates to be actors. I think basketball players generally have a natural charisma, athleticism, whenever you perform and your personality comes out, and also the work that has to go into basketball, it usually translates to whatever the next thing is that you're passionate about. You have to be able to act, which is a skill, but I think a lot of people can act, but it's a skill that you have to develop. And it's also something like a comfort zone that you have to break out of, because a lot of people have a fear of public speaking or even just diving into a role.
I feel like the vulnerability of it.
That's the correct term. The vulnerability of it. And so now this is the difference. You trying to get this charismatic, like macho basketball player guy to now be vulnerable with his emotions in the particular scene.
Yeah.
So I was able to have a lot of success with the basketball commercials, not only because I had balance and I looked like an NBA basketball player and I play at a pro level, I also know how to deliver lines. So So whenever it was a basketball commercial and somebody had like a lot of dialogue, I'm like, well, good luck, man. 'Cause, you know what I'm saying?
You know, I got that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's in my bag.
Last question, man. You don't want your cornbread?
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Oh, Trevor.
Nah, I'm chilling, man. You can have the cornbread.
You want the cornbread? You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of the cornbread, man.
I'm chilling, man.
Solo Bailey, man.
Woo!
I see that boy. He's continuing your legacy. I saw he played against Bronny James, man. So in a way, you know, you and LeBron are actually still connected, man. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. You might have to get him on the come around.
People don't want to let me go.
We might have to get him on the come around.
Oh,
you know what
my
I'm saying?
goodness.
Someone might have to take care of that for you. You're like, oh, Bronny, you gonna have to get that work from your pops. You feel me? But in all seriously, man.
I mean, I would love a little 2v2.
Man, I'd pay to watch that, man.
Sheldon Bailey, Solo Bailey versus
Bronny and LeBron. Hey, man, the double versus the real. We might have to take over.
Hey.
So you know, I'll get that pay-per-view going. We can get that popping.
Hey, that 2v2 would be lit.
That might be the most epic
trust me,
2v2.
I got some more smoke than you think.
Don't sleep on the juggernaut, man. Y'all gonna see.
For sure.
But
my son is doing really well.
That's what I was gonna say, man. How do you feel about him continuing on your legacy, man?
Well, he's continuing my legacy in a couple ways.
Absolutely, I seen that.
Well, because he will have his TV debut on the Sterling Affairs.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, so far as a dad, as an actor, as a basketball player, and what I just explained to you about basketball players transitioning and all that, my son is on this path and he's been fearless about it. You know what I mean? Obviously he has me leading him, but it's still his passion. He has to go for it and do it himself.
Absolutely.
And he's doing it. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, shoot, I wish I was on TV when I was 16 in a high school basketball store, and he's in White Men Can't Jump too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a game. We're not playing.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We're not playing. The kid is serious.
And he's got game. I've been watching
and acting. Yeah, and he a lefty too.
I love that.
And his favorite dunk is a windmill.
Yeah, you know I love that.
Thunderous windmill.
I love
like
it.
Air Dog.
Chip off the old block, man.
Oh, blizzard.
I appreciate you, man. Sheldon Bailey.
Hey,
thank you for
love,
taking the time out, man.
Yeah. It's love. Hey, shout out to the Global Hooper Professor.
Hey, shout out to Professor. He got us in the building.
Yeah, we in the facility. This is my first time in the facility. I've been knowing Professor for a long time, man.
It's lit.
Thanks for having me in the building. Can I get another invite?
You know what I'm saying? Next time we have a little more Roscoe's when we get the bread up, you know what I'm saying, the pockets. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. And
he didn't even order no drinks, bro.
Hey, man, hey, man, cut the camera, bro. We out of here, man.
A lemonade or something. Where's the fruit punch?